The unknown truth and the great secret is that women are dying of cervical cancer all over the world, particularly in impoverished nations. It is the leading cause of death, cervical cancer, for women who live in resource-poor countries. 6 jumbo jets of women die every day from cervical cancer that is entirely preventable. How this whole thing got started was I was sitting at my desk as an oncologist in Beverly Hills, where I sat for 27 consecutive years, and I just wanted to do more. Found myself in Dakar, Senegal, on a mission to put in a very expensive multi-million-dollar linear accelerator, and it was just preposterous. This was going to be a botched first mission. So I did some reading, and to my utter amazement, I found out of the epidemic of cervical cancer, that all over the world, there were pockets of women in impoverished nations that never went to the doctor to get a pap smear, never went to the doctor to have babies, and were bleeding a horrible, undignified death. And when I found that out, before I went to Senegal, I came prepared with vaginal speculums and acetic acid, which is vinegar, in an attempt to try to screen women for cervical cancer, just in case this other project with the $2 million linear accelerator didn't work. We went into various areas of Dakar and around Dakar to screen women. We must have screened 50 women in the first morning, and I identified 12 women that needed to now be referred for cryotherapy to freeze off the abnormal white opaque lesions. And then they would have nearly 100% chance of being cured. Only to find out there was only one cryotherapy machine. Let me repeat that, one cryotherapy machine in all of Senegal. Elite Women's French Clinic on the coast of Mabor in Senegal that had a broken machine. I'm in a Muslim country, I'm not Muslim, and I proceed to borrow this. And it's heavy. Rolling it down the hallway in this dust, getting the CO2 tank into these strangers' cars, having these strangers then follow me to different hardware stores to fix the cryotherapy gun. Meanwhile, the whole team is back at the clinic screening women. So by now I've been gone 3 hours and they're worried about me. I show up, I've got a cryotherapy gun, I've got a CO2 tank, we put it together and boom, it's working. And now we were able to treat those 12 women that we discovered early in the morning, and plus the other dozen that they had found were positive and needed this treatment while I was gone for the 3 hours. And we did that for a week. And the feeling of being able to save these women's lives was so overwhelming. This simple procedure where you insert a vaginal speculum, spray vinegar on the cervix, wait 1 minute. If it changes an opaque color of white, offer the woman this freezing technique, and then 10 minutes later, she's treated. It was overwhelming to me. And I vowed at that moment I was going to figure out a way to offer this simple procedure to women all over the world who need it most, to make a real, honest-to-God attempt to eradicate this 100% preventable disease. Shortly after that trip to Dakar, Senegal, I asked Dr. Jennifer Lang and another doctor to join me in northern Ethiopia and see what would happen when we had a planned mission and we brought cryotherapy guns into a country. I'll never forget, on the Thursday of that Friday week, Dr. Jennifer Lang and I stepped back and we watched these nurses do this on their own. And we looked at each other and said, this can be a sustainable clinic. We can leave all the equipment here and ask if they will email us every month the number of women screened and the number of women treated, the number of women who have HIV and were treated, because women with HIV are very susceptible to cervical cancer. What happens is they're unable to heat off the HPV virus. HPV causes cervical cancer 100% of the time. So if you have HIV and you have HPV, you're really in a mess, but not if you have cryotherapy. And so going back to the reportability, to this day, I promise you, Kai and Sarah from the Tigray region of northern Ethiopia report to us at least once a month on the number of women screened and treated. We have 64 clinics all over the world. They are in Ethiopia. There are 24 or so in Kenya. We have clinics in Nigeria, all throughout northern Haiti, Guatemala, the northern part of Vietnam, and we have taught doctors and nurses throughout the interior of China. This is the proudest thing that I have ever done in medicine. And I appreciate any and all help.